At just 24 years old, Rudy Wetzel made a decision that left everyone questioning his sanity. He walked away from his father's $1 million YouTube empire, a channel pulling in serious cash with over 900,000 subscribers at the time. Most people would have killed for that opportunity. But Rudy didn't just leave. He started from scratch, building his own brand with nothing but a welder's salary and a dream. For years, fans thought they knew why he left. Tight schedules, different interests, personal growth. But that was only part of the story. What really drove him away was something much deeper. Rudy wasn't just any employee at Matt's Off-Road Recovery. He was the eldest son, the heir to the throne. His father, Matt, had built something incredible in the Utah desert, a recovery business that became a YouTube sensation. By 2022, the channel had blown past 900,000 subscribers and was climbing fast. Every video racked up hundreds of thousands of views. The money was rolling in. This wasn't some small side hustle. This was a legitimate business empire, and Rudy was right at the center of it. Everyone who watched the channel assumed they were seeing Rudy's future unfold in real time. He'd learn the ropes from his old man, take over operations eventually, and coast into a comfortable life doing what the family did best. The path was laid out perfectly. No student debt to worry about. No struggling to find his place in the world. Just show up, work hard, and inherit a gold mine. Then in spring 2022, everything changed. Rudy posted an announcement that shocked the fan base. He was leaving Matt's Off-Road Recovery. Not temporarily, not for a break. He was done. The comments exploded with confusion. Why would anyone walk away from guaranteed success? His father had handed him everything on a silver platter, and Rudy was pushing it away. People thought he'd lost his mind, but what they didn't understand was that Rudy had been suffocating for years. When Rudy first explained his departure, he kept things diplomatic. In an interview with Decent Garage, he talked about wanting personal growth and needing to find his own path. He mentioned that recovering broken-down vehicles wasn't his true passion. The filming schedules were intense, he said, and he wanted more freedom to explore other projects. On the surface, it all made sense. A young guy wanting to spread his wings and figure out who he is outside of his father's shadow. Fans accepted the explanation and wished him well. But anyone paying close attention could tell there was more to it. Rudy's words were careful, almost too careful. He never criticized his dad directly, never threw shade at the channel or the business. Everything was wrapped in polite, vague language about different directions and personal journeys. That's usually code for something else entirely. And the truth was, Rudy couldn't say what he really felt, not without burning bridges with his own family. The real issue wasn't just about tight schedules or different interests. It was about control. Rudy had spent years working on his father's channel, but it was never really his. Every decision, every project, every video, it all had to fit Matt's vision. Rudy wasn't building his own legacy. He was building someone else's. And for a creative person with big ideas and dreams of his own, that's a prison. No amount of money or subscribers can make up for feeling like you're living someone else's life. But there was more brewing beneath the surface. Matt's Off-Road Recovery had a formula, and it worked. Dramatic rescues in the Utah wilderness, trucks stuck in impossible places, high-stakes recoveries with expensive equipment. The audience loved it, and the algorithm rewarded it. But for Rudy, that formula became a cage. He had zero creative control over the content. Everything had to serve the channel's narrative, not his interests. When you're building someone else's dream, your own ideas don't matter. Rudy's passion wasn't pulling vehicles out of ditches. He wanted to work on hot rods, drift cars, rock crawlers, custom builds that pushed boundaries and tested his skills as a fabricator. But every time he pitched an idea, it had to fit within the Recovery Channel's identity. The audience expected Matt's Off-Road Recovery to deliver a specific type of content, and straying too far from that would risk losing viewers. So Rudy's dreams got shelved, his projects got put on hold, his creativity got suffocated. The worst part, he felt like an employee in his own family's business, not a partner, not a co-creator, just another worker following orders. Matt made the decisions. Matt set the schedules. Matt controlled the direction of the channel. And Rudy, he showed up, did what he was told, and watched his own ambitions die a slow death. That's not a life. That's a job you can't quit because it's tied to your last name. Eventually, something had to give, and the pressure was about to get even worse. Rudy's departure in early 2022 came at a very interesting time. Just months earlier, his father, Matt, had been hit with serious legal trouble. In 2021, charges surfaced accusing Matt of insurance fraud. The allegations claimed he'd fraudulently billed AAA over $15,000 for recovery services. The details were messy, and the whole situation cast a shadow over the business. Suddenly, the family empire didn't look so stable anymore. Now, Rudy never publicly blamed his father or connected his departure to the legal issues. He kept everything professional and supportive on the surface. But the timing raises questions. When a business faces that kind of heat, uncertainty follows. Sponsors get nervous. Revenue streams get questioned. The future becomes unclear. For someone already feeling trapped and creatively stifled, that chaos creates an opening, a chance to break free without looking like the bad guy. Some fans speculated that Rudy wanted distance from the controversy. Others thought the stress of the legal battle made the family dynamic even more tense. Whatever the case, Rudy saw an opportunity during the chaos and took it. He could leave, start fresh, and build something entirely his own while his father dealt with the fallout. It wasn't malicious, it was strategic. When the ship starts taking on water, you grab a lifeboat. And Rudy wasn't about to go down with a sinking business he never fully controlled in the first place. So he jumped. And what he built next proved he made the right call. Starting over meant starting with nothing. Rudy didn't have a massive budget, no production team, no established audience waiting for him. Just a vision and a lot of determination. In early 2022, he launched Rudy's Adventure and Design, known as Rad Day. The channel was his blank canvas, and for the first time in his life, he could paint whatever he wanted. No more following someone else's rules, no more compromising his ideas. This was his shot to prove he didn't need his father's name to succeed. But freedom came with a price. Rudy needed money to fund his projects, and YouTube ad revenue wasn't going to cut it in the beginning. So he took a day job as a welder at a company that builds underground safes. The work was steady, the pay was decent, and most importantly, his boss gave him something invaluable: access to shop space. After hours, Rudy could use the tools and workspace to work on his builds. It wasn't glamorous, but it was enough. In less than 3 years, Rad grew to over 250,000 subscribers. That's not just impressive, it's proof that Rudy's instincts were right all along. He didn't need his father's platform. He didn't need the established audience. All he needed was the freedom to create content he actually cared about. His growth wasn't handed to him. He earned every single subscriber by doing things his way. And the best part, Rudy's channel isn't about dramatic rescues or pulling trucks out of the mud. It's about the projects that make him excited to wake up in the morning. His 1973 Chevy C10 drift truck, a Mini Cooper rock crawler that has no business existing but does anyway, an Ultra 4 race truck built for pure chaos. These are the builds that light him up inside, and now he gets to share them on his own terms. No deadlines imposed by someone else, no scripts written to fit a brand he didn't create. Just raw, unfiltered passion for building wild machines. The creative freedom changed everything. Rudy controls the pacing of his videos. He decides which projects get featured. He experiments with different styles and formats without worrying about algorithm optimization or sponsor approval. If something doesn't work, he learns and moves on. If something takes off, he doubles down. That kind of flexibility doesn't exist when you're working under someone else's vision. His income streams are diversified too. YouTube ad revenue, merch sales, and his welding day job all contribute to keeping Rad running. He's not rich, but he's independent. And for Rudy, that independence is worth more than any paycheck his father could have offered. He's building something authentic, something that reflects who he actually is instead of who people expected him to be. And the audience can feel that authenticity. That's why they keep coming back. But the relationship with his father, that's more complicated now. Publicly, Rudy and Matt maintain that everything's fine between them. Matt supported Rudy's decision to leave, at least in the official statements. There's no drama on social media, no subtweets or shady comments. On the surface, it looks like a healthy father-son relationship where both parties respect each other's choices. But scratch beneath that surface, and things get more complicated. Rudy still shows up to big off-road events like Easter Jeep Safari and King of Hammers. His dad's there too. They're polite, maybe even friendly. But the dynamic has shifted. Rudy's no longer the son working for his father's company. He's a competitor, both based in Utah, both creating YouTube content about vehicles, both chasing the same audience in the off-road community. That creates tension, whether they admit it or not. There's also the unspoken reality that Rudy's success proves he didn't need his father's platform. Every milestone Rad hits is a reminder that Rudy made the right call walking away. That has to sting a little for Matt, even if he'd never say it out loud. Parents want their kids to succeed, but when that success comes from rejecting what the parent built, that's complicated. And for Rudy, every interaction with his dad probably carries a little weight. The pressure to prove he made the right choice, the need to show he's not just some kid who got lucky. He's a builder, a creator, and a businessman in his own right. But he'll always be Matt's son first. That's something he can never escape. At 24, Rudy Wetzel chose freedom over fortune. He walked away from a guaranteed paycheck, a massive platform, and the comfort of working in his family's business. Most people thought he was crazy. Some still do. But Rudy proved that sometimes the hardest prison to escape is the one built by the people who love you. His father didn't mean to trap him. Matt was offering his son the world. But it was Matt's world, not Rudy's. Now Rudy's building his own empire, one weld at a time. He's not chasing his father's level of success. He's creating his own definition of what success looks like. And that authenticity, that's what keeps people watching. So here's the question. Would you walk away from your family's empire to chase your own dreams? Or would you play it safe and live someone else's life? Drop your answer in the comments.